A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Monday, April 1st. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. A large fire that began in a house on Lutheran Street in the city of Newburgh last night expanded to several other neighboring buildings, requiring many fire departments to respond to the city at about 9:15 p.m. The four-alarm blaze was first reported to be at 36 Lutheran Street, then spread to 38 and 40 Lutheran near the intersection of Van Ness Street. Mayor Torrance Harvey called the fire tragic and said it appeared that no one was injured. He said the Red Cross was called in to assist those who were left homeless.
The first building that caught on fire, we don't know why or how. It appears to be was an abandoned building. Possibly, some folks got in, but that's still under investigation.
Police evacuated the neighboring Lutheran Street buildings and reported that the occupants were in the process of trying to remove TVs and other belongings. There was a report that one of the burning buildings had 6 propane tanks at the back, and first responders were advised to use extreme caution. City police responded to a report of a stabbing on Du Bois Street in Newburgh last night at about 9:20. The first officers to arrive at 93 Du Bois Street located 2 victims with what were described as life-threatening injuries. Police on the scene requested that EMS ambulances be expedited while other officers began to establish a crime scene. The victims were found not far from Montefiore St. Luke's Cornwall Hospital at 70 Du Bois Street. A medevac helicopter landed across the street from the hospital on the roof of the parking garage. A fire that broke out at 6:30 on Easter Sunday morning caused considerable damage to a 2.5-story home in Walden. Firefighters say the building was fully involved when they arrived on the scene. A second alarm was sounded with a mutual aid response from Coldenham and Montgomery, Pine Bush and Wallkill to the scene, with Newburgh providing a fast team. Walden Police and EMS also responded, along with deputy fire coordinators from Orange and Ulster counties. The Orange County Sheriff's Office dispatched an arson canine team as well. The cause of the fire is under investigation. There were no reports of injuries. Police in the town of Wallkill have arrested a woman on a charge of falsely reporting an incident following a voicemail bomb threat at Garnett Health Medical Center. Police arrested Donna Inga, who's 64, of New Hampton, in connection with the March 20th threat. She was released on an appearance ticket pending a future court appearance. A search of the exterior of the buildings and grounds by police and canine units found no explosive devices or responsible persons. No one was reported injured. The Dutchess County Legislature will consider a resolution in April to challenge the state's mandate to move local elections from odd-numbered years to even-numbered years. Legislature Chairman Will Truitt said he made it clear that he would fight what he called the unconstitutional power grab with any available measure. He said every member of the legislature swore an oath at the organizational meeting in January to uphold the county charter. He said they cannot stand by idly as the state attempts to circumvent the very charter that they all swore to uphold. Governor Hochul signed the bill into law in December of last year over objections by several local leaders and the New York State Association of Counties. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
The newly constructed Dutchess County Justice and Transition Center, also known as the new Dutchess County Jail, received its new occupants and staff in a quiet move just days ago. The move was not publicized for obvious security reasons and was originally estimated to take place in August of last year. The replacement of the often overcrowded and aging previous facility has been debated for nearly 2 decades by county lawmakers before the $134 million project broke ground. The modern facility is slated to serve as the cornerstone of the county's restorative justice efforts, addressing the root causes of criminal activity to rehabilitate offenders for successful transition back to the community and prevention of future recidivism. The village of Monticello's new police chief, Jay Corley, knew from a very young age that he wanted to be in law enforcement. He's a second-generation law enforcement officer and no stranger to the village of Monticello or its police department. Corley takes the helm in the village of Monticello 27 years after he first became a sworn-in officer in the village. Corley says that his career in law enforcement was shaped by his father and uncle, both of whom were police officers.
I pretty much knew, I wanted to do some type of law enforcement from a very young age because I grew up in a household with a father who, was in law enforcement. I had an uncle who was in law enforcement. I have another uncle. These men were older and obviously they're retired. But, I grew up in that environment.
The chief said when he was talking about going into law enforcement, he had a lot of family support. A major drug trafficker was sentenced in Orange County Court to 16 years to life in state prison following his guilty plea. The charges against 42-year-old Antonio Perez Molina of Otisville and several other co-defendants stemmed from a long-term drug sale and possession operation dubbed Operation Off the Brick that involved New York and Connecticut State Police and the Orange County DA's office. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.